Hey, welcome. I believe it's day 54 of the Spiritual Journal with your soul sister, Iona, host of the #1 Spiritual Awakening Annual YouTube Summit, where I interview fellow spiritual YouTubers on their spiritual awakening story. I've just got a notification for my own going live. And we have the Spiritual Alchemy giveaway and the Spiritual Ascension after show party here on the Soul Legacy TV. So welcome to day 54 of my spiritual journal with me. I call this journal the Soul Legacy Notebook. So if you have something to write with, if you don't have something to write with, grab something so we can do the spiritual journal together. It is Relationship Freedom Friday in my world. And so I say this is 365 days of your spiritual awakening story. This Soul Legacy Journal and the spiritual journaling process came about through my spiritual awakening. I'll talk about that more. If you have before I jump into this episode, so if you have a spiritual awakening story to share and you want to share it with the world, I have a co-author book series. I will leave the information down below in the comments and in the descriptions. I don't have the comment up on the screen to pull up. It's not come up on StreamYard. But you can email submissions at SoulLegacyAcademy.com. And what just came to mind, if you have a spiritual awakening story to share about love and relationships and awakening and all the things, that would be beautiful to include that in the co-author book series. So good morning to Robin Knott, who has joined us on the Soul Legacy TV. If you are new to me, consider subscribing for spiritual business success without doing busy work, without being broke, and without experiencing burnout, because why would you want to do that? So Robin Knott is the host of the Energy Healing TV and podcast, and also our lead soul guided instructor in the SoulLegacyAcademy.com and the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network. I'm so excited to work with Robin. So we're going to talk about relationships in your spiritual journal. I talk about relationships every single Friday on the Soul Legacy TV, excuse me, because relationships, when I talk about spiritual business success and being the founder of the Soul Legacy Academy, I talk about launching, leading, and leaving your soul legacy and doing it with ease, grace, and flow. And that's not in isolation. Relationships is everything. I think this is my favorite day of the week. I love all of the days. So if you're new to me, I talk about leveraging your light work and your lifestyle and developing intentional living, and developing routines and rituals to support you in that light work and lifestyle balance. And really, you can't have that lifestyle and life work balance when you're just on your own in isolation. As light workers, sometimes we're like, I'll just be on my own. And, you can't really make a difference and you can't really have a business if you don't ever speak to anyone and you don't ever serve. So relationships is everything. And, we need relationships. We need to form relationships, have conversations and the relationship with ourselves. So I think it is definitely my favorite one. I think the relationship with myself has come like full circle, and I'm able to show up, speak out, and serve deep and serve you with this Soul Legacy Journal because of the relationship that I have with myself, and because of the relationship that I have with the universe, and because of the relationship that I've had with soul clients and soul family, and because I am a mother and a grandmother. All of the relationships, it's just like, it's really beautiful. I think sometimes we avoid relationships. Let me know. Journal the process out if you feel inspired. So Robin now says that her Relationship Freedom Friday, so the abbreviation for that, because it's an acronym, Relationship Freedom is one of the freedoms that I talk about on the Soul Legacy TV. If you're new to me, if you're not new to me, then you'll know that. If you're in the Soul Legacy Academy, then you'll jump on the monthly call and I'll coach you around all of the, what I call the 7 freedoms in your relationships. And so it's one of the 7 freedoms, and I'll talk about all of the areas to balance your light work and lifestyle. But every single day we rate how we feel in each area. So Relationship Freedom Friday, the acronym, the whole entire acronym is Cheers to Financial Freedom Frequency. So we want to be vibrating ourselves at a higher frequency one, so we feel high vibe and we feel amazing and we have an amazing life, and two, to actually manifest and attract the life that we want, with the clients that we want, with the soul family that we want, with the soul tribe. So it stands, so when we do the abbreviation, Robin's done the RFF, and we always have to check it. It's like, is that right? So Relationship Freedom Friday. Talk about each area of your life. Contribution freedom on Mondays, health freedom on Tuesdays, emotional freedom on Wednesdays, environmental freedom on Thursdays, relationship freedom on Fridays, which is today. So you can come back every Friday if you love Relationship Freedom Friday, because why would you not? Spiritual freedom on a Saturday, and financial freedom on a Sunday, which is a lot. However, we break down your life, and I wanted to share that with you because that's what I do in my spiritual journal. We break it down, then we build your life up, and at the core of all of those freedoms is the relationship either with yourself or someone else, or with the universe, or relationship with money, or relationship with clients, relationship with parents, relationship, karma, ancestral relationships that you're going to leave as a legacy, all of the things. Relationship ties into everything. I love all of the days, to be fair. So Robin's is a 10, Relationship Freedom Friday. So we rate between a 1 and 11, how connected you feel with your soul guidance. And mine is definitely 11. I'm like really high vibing. This whole week, all of my ratings have been an 11. If you haven't watched any other episode, then I have the playlist in the cards or in the description. And if you just want to have some fun with the relationship with yourself and with others, and just have a lighter feel, maybe some relationships that feel a little bit toxic, or just not flowing as well, or you want to manifest relationships, new relationships, whatever it is, let me know and let's journal about it, so that we can improve the relationship with yourself and the universe and others. So Robin says, thank you for the shout out. I absolutely love being on this journey with you. And Robin is our lead soul guided instructor, and our relationship has blossomed through both of our work, my work initially, and then obviously Robin's work, because she's come to me with her vision. We did the vision board challenge, and I have the vision board challenge for you. It's a 7-day spiritual vision board challenge, which supports you in getting really clear on all of the areas of your life that I've mentioned, to bring that light work and lifestyle balance, but to get clear on the relationships of that impact, that legacy that you want to leave, with your spiritual business, in your light work, in your lifestyle. So I don't know about you, but I have many different roles. I have so many beautiful people around me, and it takes a minute to maintain those relationships, and it takes a minute to separate the relationships that I have around me from the relationship with myself. And by that I mean, as Robin talks about on the Energy Healing TV, working with empaths, on being an empath. Sometimes we model the relationships, but the relationships influence us, even through the subconscious, when we don't realize. So having the people around you that really support you, support your spiritual business, support your success, really matters. And being strong in your own vibration and your own thoughts, your own feelings, will determine the experiences that you have in your relationships, if that makes sense. So what you've been passed down, what you've been told about relationships, what you've seen in relationships. I didn't really see a healthy relationship, like intimate relationships around me when I was growing up. Really, like, that sounds really harsh. I know that many people have that experience, and I didn't, and I really wanted that. And so far, at the age of 49 this year, 48, 49 this year, I keep getting my age. I've had one healthy relationship. Really, I would say it's a healthy relationship. The rest were kind of learning, and I'm ready for that next chapter to experience. And I always say that the relationship, the intimate romantic relationship that you have, really impacts how you show up in your spiritual business, or it did for me anyway. What happens behind the scenes really matters. And I'm going to pull today's card, because this spiritual journal process, I do a few rituals and routines to help me maintain my relationship with myself, relationship with the universe, relationship with my clients, students, and romantic relationships, my daughter, my granddaughter. So I'll talk about gratitude. I'll talk about the crystal for the day. I'll talk about your vision. I'll talk about your vibration. I'll talk about your values. But before I do that, I usually pull a card at the end of my daily lives, but I'm going to pull it today because hopefully it'll set the stage for your spiritual journal. I love this card deck. It's really beautiful. And then at the end, we're going to talk about your relationship with money. And I'm going to give you a vibrational money voucher to spend, which is $1,000, pounds or euros, wherever you are. And so you can spend it on making memories with the people that you love. If you don't feel like you've got that income right now to spend and have experiences, because that's what I believe that you use money for, then the Soul Legacy Journal is a magical spiritual journal for you. So let me pull today's card. Robin, I think that you're going to love this card. So literally, it's from The Keepers of the Light by a guy called Kyle Gray. So Robin and I, we pull cards for our lives. And Robin has the Energy Healing Lifestyle TV. So if you've had relationships that have been toxic, a trauma or anything like that, and you've got things that you need to heal, then Robin will support you in that. I don't do that. Sometimes we need to heal the things that come up in order for us to move forward, especially through the spiritual awakening journey, depending on what triggered your spiritual awakening journey. And being visible out there, sometimes we have stuff to heal. But this card is a beautiful card. Robin says, spend the money making memories. I don't feel like people really associate money with that. Not everybody. As light workers, as spiritual business owners, it's like when you serve and you give and you receive, you allow yourself to receive the money. One, you're a role model for the people that are around you. And so you don't teach them to, you have to go out and work really hard and burn yourself out, right? And be busy and still be broke and have all these bills to pay. But like using money for really amazing things like tithing and spending date nights and all the things. If you're not experiencing all that you want or taking your whole entire family on a trip around the world, it's probably because you don't have the money. If you had the money, then you'd do it, right? I'm sure you would, especially if you built a spiritual business online and you were able to leverage your light work and your lifestyle on YouTube, because you can work from anywhere while there's an internet connection. Anyway, all right, so this card I pulled today, hopefully you can see that, it's Radha. I think she's called Radha. This is Soul Flame. And I literally was like, so Robin and I pulled cards, and I literally was like shuffling the card deck. I'm like, okay, it's Relationship Freedom Friday. Who's gonna come? Keepers of the Light. And literally, it didn't jump. But I'm like, okay, you've gone this way, it's you. And so it's Soul Flame. I'm like, oh, I've got to read this. So it says, rediscover the lost part of yourself, experience relationship harmony and healing. So if you're using your spiritual journal, if you've got a spiritual journal, you're just new and you're like, oh, I'd like to go through this spiritual journaling process, it feels aligned. Or I just like to listen and kind of gather my thoughts around things, then it's fine. Robin says, I agree 100%. Yeah, right. So this is the card. So experience relationship harmony and healing. So Robin does energy healing. And so she's the perfect person to talk about relationships. And Robin, I know you talk about it's throat chakra healing Fridays today, which I'm sure that on your daily life that you're pulling about relationships and speaking our truth and just being true to ourselves in our relationships and having that harmony and that healing. So this card, the Hindu goddess Radha, is the divine feminine counterpart and twin flame of Krishna. She is considered to represent Shakti. And if I say anything wrong, it's because I've got a little dyslexia, forgive me. The divine feminine and creative spirit of the universal life force. Without the female, the male cannot be created. I would just like to say, can I get an amen? Hello. For this reason, Shakti is a powerful force that is honored and cherished. Quite rightly so. Radha is completely devoted to her partner and illustrates, this is the bit that I love, illustrates the old adage, behind every powerful man is a powerful woman. And I believe that behind every powerful woman is a powerful man or another powerful woman, depending on who you want to share your life with as your partner. But you kind of get it's the idea of it, right? So it's not just oh bless, it's not just, I've just got a message from my granddaughter's mum, that's again relationships. It's not just behind a man, it's behind us as women. And that's why I said about relationships, and that's why I talk about on the spiritual dating YouTube channel, Awakened Soulmates Marriage TV, is because I've been married and I got happily divorced, but still, it's still taking our children through that. Like I said, I didn't see that. And so I wanted to have a really healthy relationship. I've had a soulmate relationship, I've had a twin flame relationship, and I'm so ready for my soulmate and my husband to be awakened, to be with a conscious man, because I'm a conscious woman. And I believe that behind every conscious man is a conscious woman, and or a powerful can be, and vice versa. You know, that makes for a beautiful, conscious couple. And she's messaging me. She doesn't even normally soul flame. Isn't that beautiful? Soul flame relationships. I'm just saying, not twin flame, not even soulmate, soul flame. I'm like, kind of get an amen. So if you know me, I'm on that spiritual ding vibe. And when I came out of my twin flame union 5 months ago, I trusted that. I knew that there was something else bigger and greater for me. I knew that I'd awakened through that. And again, I'll probably share one of those stories in my Soul Legacy journal. But have you journaled, in your journal, in your Soul Legacy journal or your spiritual journal, journal about how you feel about relationships? As I'm talking about soulmates, twin flame, soul flame, what comes up for you in terms of relationships of the past, relationships present, or a relationship that you want to manifest? As we do our spiritual journal and we talk about spiritual business success, it's not just business, it's all areas of our life. And we don't want to leave out an area. We don't want to leave out a relationship for ourselves. Some people say, I was talking to a friend yesterday, and my daughter's messaging me. What? She says she's just left the doctors. Listen, relationships, right? Relationships happen. I don't have my notifications on usually. But it's just making me smile, because those are relationships that fuel me. Although it's distracting me, it's fueling me. So the relationships that we have around us matter. The intimate relationships, children, children's partner, whatever, grandchildren, all of those really matter. And us having a healthy relationship while we run our spiritual business, people say, oh, I don't want a relationship. But it's like, oh, never mind, I've been hurt too many times. And I was talking to a friend yesterday, and she was saying, you've always got, she believes in love, and she's like, you've always got to think the one more time. So let me know if you're single, if you're in a relationship, if you're happily married, if you've like found the key to that healthy relationship, let me know and share it with us. Share your secrets. So let me continue on. So, excuse me, Raja is completely devoted to her partner, which again, it illustrates that old adage. And does that resonate with you, the old adage, or it's like, oh, that's a load of rubbish? It does for me, because it does matter. Not that you can't do what you're doing in life alone. That's not what I'm saying. And you know that's not what I'm saying. She is dedicated to supporting all those who seek relationship harmony and healing. Can I get an amen? Right? Thank you. At one point she learned what it is like to be separated from Krishna. And so she also brings great healing to those who are suffering the loss of a partner or separation. I would say that I'm not experiencing a loss of my twin flame or a soulmate or whatever. I'm really blessed. I'm like, bring it on. I got what I needed in that relationship, and it was beautiful. Don't get me wrong, for almost 4 years. I had growing pains. It wasn't perfect. I learned a lot. He learned a lot. I learned about compatibility and conversation and communication and commitment and my calling. I wanted to have the calling. The calling piece was missing. To have that with my soulmate. Like, I'm not going to settle for less. Like, that fuels my calling. If not, it's a distraction for my spiritual business, and I won't do that again. So Robin says, I'm so happy I paused for those intimate relationships and allowed myself the time and action to heal myself. I feel like a better me for my conscious soul flame. Is that beautiful? Does that resonate with you? Exactly. So I've been celibate in my time. I've been mostly in my life, adult life, obviously, mostly single, to be fair. And I always said that I'd function better not in a relationship. And when I was married, this is when I went on this journey and I learned about the law of attraction and all the things, and you grow. Lots of times we grow apart from the person that we're with when we come through that awakening. And it's like people will search on YouTube and on the online, how do I get into a relationship after my awakening? If you've gone through a relationship and you're going through your awakening, it's like you're not always on the same level. And like you said, Robin, you know, you're doing that healing. What I found is when I was celibate for like 3 years after I had my daughter, and then I met my husband, I was like, I'd done the lessons, I've grown. No, I had so much more to do. And then again, when I went in my false twin flame, all the things, whatever labels you want to put on them, it helped me understand where I was at with the person that was in front of me. So the twin flame one was the biggest one. I'm like, oh, great. I really thought I'd done all of the work. Literally, I was like, I'm good. No. And I'm still learning from the past. So I'm still grateful for the past, but I'm still learning from the past and taking what I needed and leaving the rest and calling in my soulmate and my husband and all of the things. And that might feel like too much information, but I do believe that the roles from conscious men and conscious women on our future generation matters from our existing generation, and from our future generation it matters, because that's that lineage. What we see, we absorb, and we absorb it in the body, we absorb it and manifest the behaviors, the thoughts, the feelings about ourselves. The relationship that we have from our parents, it matters, or lack of. So let me keep going. So the loss of a partner and a separation, and sometimes you might be struggling with it. Let me know. You know, write it down in your spiritual journal, journal it out on a Relationship Freedom Friday. Look back at the last week. How have your relationship been with yourself? How's it been with other people? And what do you want to manifest and call into your life? The extended message for this card is loving union, connection. It makes me smile. I love love. Like, I just love love. I love relationships. None of the relationships I've had have put me off. They've helped me be a better version of me. Loving union, connection, and relationship harmony are key at this time. Absolutely. It's important to remember, though, that the relationships won't make you whole. Exactly. When you're conscious, we're growing with the Soul Legacy Journal, with the spiritual, the Soul Legacy TV, YouTube podcast. We're growing in every single area of our life. And on the spiritual dating TV, the Awakened Soulmates Marriage TV, that channel is about growing yourself, like Robin said, so that you can be more conscious, so that when you do attract that person, or if you're in a relationship, you can be more of you in that, rather than getting lost. Have you ever been lost in a relationship and you're like, who am I being anyway? I ended my last relationship because I didn't want to do that, because I've done it before. And so it's important to remember that it won't make you whole. Only your own love can do that. And Robin has the self-love movement. So if you're feeling like you're not taking care of yourself in a relationship, any kind of relationship, or you're not really loving yourself, not being true, Robin will support you in that self-love journey, because they say, you know, unless you love yourself, you can't really love somebody else fully. It's that fake love. And so you now have the opportunities to find lost parts of yourself, maybe sensual parts, or the capacity to cherish yourself. So those sensual parts of yourself, like, are you in tune with them? I am. And that part of me was being lost, and I had to catch myself and say, actually, that's not the vision. That's not the relationship that I want to have with myself. So I'm really happy. This is a real nice confirmation for me. And hopefully it's a confirmation for you that you can write down in your spiritual journal and not ignore that, especially if something toxic is going on behind closed doors. I'm quite open, so I'll just share what was going on in my relationship when it was going on. When I surrendered in my twin flame union, I just announced it anyway. People were like, really? They were really shocked. And I was like, yeah, I want to stay true to myself. And when we got back together, announced that, then we split. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, I don't care. Relationships are just that cycle. So excuse me, the relationships around you will begin to reflect the love that you have for yourself. So definitely use your spiritual journal every single Friday to love you, to learn to tap into those thoughts that are not loving and supportive and kind. And again, Robin will help you do that. Turn your thoughts and your feelings around and clear the energy around that. So increased romance, love and opportunities to express the divine harmony through love are all becoming apparent in your life. Can I get an amen? And I'm witnessing it. I will not reveal details, but I'm witnessing it. I will on the Spiritual Dating TV. I'll reveal it there, but I'm not saying it all on here because it's early days for me to be on the dating app and just be in that mode. And I will definitely share it as I go, whether it works or whether it doesn't. That doesn't matter, but I won't share it just yet. I keep you hanging. So you deserve divine love. You deserve divine love. You deserve divine love. And Radha, with the Shakti presence, is here to awaken the loving connection within you now. That's why I wanted to read it, and I've like gone off on like lots of tangents, but I love that card. Is that beautiful? That is perfect for Relationship Freedom Friday. I'm like, oh, thank you. It's just my energy. I'm calling it, and it's for you too. So Robin says, yes, that feeling of losing ourselves is horrid and not loving it all, right? So do you have that relationship freedom? Although, you know, it just is what it is, and it's through learning. And when we know better, we do better. And when we know better, we can teach and show. So for me, for my relationships, and when I talk about relationship freedom on a Relationship Freedom Friday, it's not just about a romantic relationship, but that card was beautiful. But it's all relationships. And so I'm showing my daughter how I have the relationship with me, and she is like literally a mini me. She says it. She's 19. Mia, she's amazing. My son made his transition 7 years ago, so the relationship that I have with my son is different. And I kind of like blurted that out because I'm like, the relationship that I have with my son is not the relationship that I want to have with my son. Do you know what I mean? But I do when I feel his presence and I have his guidance, not his physical like a presence like that would freak me out, but I feel his guidance, I would say. And so the relationship you have with your angels, your guides, the universe, your offspring if you have them, your grandchildren if you have them, nieces, nephews, godchildren, all of those relationships that I have in my life are amazing. They're not all perfect, but they're amazing. I'm super grateful. And my dad made his transition. My big brother made his transition. My mum lives really far away. With my relationship with my mum, it's always been like, I've always felt different in the family, I would say. And so I don't know where I get all of how I am. I don't think it's all from her. So it's like a little bit different. But let me know, or just journal. You have to let me know. I say let me know. Write in your spiritual journal what your relationships are like. I'm showing my daughter how to be a woman, right? And I pride myself in that. And, you know, through the relationships that I've been in, she's seen me. And she's seen me come out of the relationships that I've been in and do it with ease, grace, and flow, and do it intentionally and not break myself down and not like beat myself up or what have you. I wanted to show her how to have a relationship with herself and how to have a relationship with a man. And I can honestly say that I know how now to love a man fully, but with boundaries, and love myself first. So I love it. So Robin says that is beautiful. I love when the cards fit right into our conversations. I know, it's the energy, isn't it? It's beautiful. So part of the Soul Legacy Journal, I talk about in this spiritual journal and the daily rituals and routines for you. And you're welcome if it helps you. Is your vision for your relationships, are they matching up? So we can do spiritual journaling and spiritual journal prompts So do your relationships match up with the vision that you have? Mine actually do, apart from the husband, which I'm calling in, and I set the intention, and I've been on a dating app. So I went on Bumble when I met my twin flame, and I was like, okay, there was an instant soul to soul connection. And then this time I'm like, okay, well, not a twin flame. Like, okay, let's put that down. let's do. I'm done with that. Which always makes Robin laugh. Like, I'm done with that. A soulmate. And so when I've gone on there, which they can be draining, they can be a lot. So I'll have an app myself on the spiritual dating, and I'm going to interview people on their soulmate relationships and their twin flames and stuff on there. Just have more conversations about love and relationships and the process and all the experiences. But I set the intention, and I put on my dating profile marriage. And that is just a filter for so many people. They're like, really? That came around from, and the app and the idea came around. I was going to do a twin flame channel, and I'm really happy that I've come full circle to the soulmates TV and the spiritual dating that way. Whether you're in a relationship or not, you still want to be dating, right? I'm so happy. But when I thought of the marriage, one of my friends from school, which I hadn't talked to for years, this is relationships again, just relationships that come in and out of your life. She's Muslim, and she said, I hadn't spoken to her. We went to an all-girls school. I hadn't spoken to her for years, and we were going to do a spiritual. We were going to do a reunion from school. I'm going to dive into gratitude, but I'm grateful for this relationship and this experience, right? So we were having a conversation on Messenger, like really lengthy conversation, and about the reunion. Then we talked about marriage and where she is and what I've done, blah, blah, blah. And just the family and the children that she's got. I think she's got like loads of kids, like loads. I think like 8 or something. And I say that like I could not have 8 children. Oh, she's just beautiful, loves them, her culture, different things. Anyway, her sister's got like 10 or 12. I'm like, wow. And they have arranged marriages. So like I've got a friend who's my son's god and my daughter's godmom, who is Hindu, and she had an arranged marriage and all the things, and I never really understood it. And I was asking her more and more. I was so intrigued, and she was, I'm not saying go out and have an arranged marriage, that's not my culture. However, it intrigued me, and I was just like, when you have that arranged marriage, so she said that, you know, they can get divorced now, because I didn't think they could. So I was just asking loads of questions, and she said they have almost like a CV for an arranged marriage. So I was like, thank you, Robin. And I was like, oh my goodness, no actual way, like really? And she said, yeah. And she's like, I'll get one for you. And literally you share like a dating profile, like you share your details, basically what you want, who you are, blah, blah, blah. And that's where the soulmate marriage CV came from, because on some of the dating apps, you don't really, like if somebody wants a hookup or they write, I don't know, that's not really the space that I want to be in. So I want to develop my own app for those who are ready for a life partner, a soul flame, and especially being conscious, because there's a lot of fake, there's a lot of catfishing, there's a lot of all the things. If you've ever been on dating profile, let me know. It's like, oh really? Anyway, I put marriage on mine. So I've had very different interactions and conversations than I would have without having that. And I said to her, you know, I'm ready for that, not to arrange a marriage, but to meet someone and say, I'm dating for marriage. I'm dating to whoever comes into my life will be the influence, again, in my daughter's life, in my granddaughter's life, in my friends. You know, when you're dating and your friends are like, really, are you actually going to go there with this person or that person? It's like, it impacts all areas of your life. It impacts your business, impacts how you feel. Emotional freedom, it impacts how you feel. So that's why I ended my last relationship, because it was impacting how I was feeling and how I was showing up, speaking out and serving deep. It was muddying the waters. So Robin says, same, I think most of us in this journey feel like we are very different than the rest of our family members. Yeah. And saying it out loud, it's like, oh, it's a bit cringeworthy, but I know that if you're watching this, you probably resonate. have you written that down in your journal? Like if you feel different, like just, I say spiritual journal prompts, I talk and people say I'm taking notes. I don't know why, but I just talk and hopefully it's helping you. Excuse me, because this is live, so I can't like not do that. So the energy is moving. Every relationship that we've ever had in the past, that we've got in present, and we've got in our predicted future that we're visualizing, and will impact other areas of our life, and it will impact who we are. So Robin says, agree, the dating apps or dating culture has so much fakeness involved. Not at all the space I want to be in either. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm trusting. So when I met my twin flame, I was like, I'm trusting. I actually, this is a story. And I'll say this quickly, then I'll do, I haven't even got the card. I'll do the gratitude. Oh, do you know what? I didn't even listen to a book for today. I'll talk about the 5 love languages, and then I'll wrap up with a vibrational money voucher. So, it wasn't the space that I wanted to be in, and I actually rewrote my profile the day before, and I was like, because I wrote it quite in a defensive way, like no booty calls, no blah blah blah, like get lost basically. And then I thought, okay, let me do it for the man that I'm supposed to be with. And so I wrote it for him, and when he saw it, he resonated with it, and he's like, oh wow. And I asked him a question that I always ask, and then we just clicked. It was like just an instant connection. And so this time when I've been on there, I'm like, again, I set that same intention. So I believe that I can dodge the energy of the fakeness to a degree and just filter it out really quickly and call in my husband, because that is what I set the intention. And if it's through a dating app, because I don't think it's around in the area that I'm in. I was going to say, no, it's not around here, but you just don't know. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. So let's say gratitude, then I'll talk about the 5 love languages. So gratitude. So in your spiritual journal, write down, I do gratitude for what I call intentional living. This is intentional living, setting intentions, soul intentions to experience what it is that you want to experience. So I say, I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate. And I use this gratitude stone. It's a love heart. This was given to me by my daughter, my beautiful daughter, Mia. She's 19. She was little. And we used to say gratitude together as a family and pass the gratitude stone around. So, and whatever you use or don't use, it's fine. I say, I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate. And you want to conjure up the emotion for anything that comes up. And I say, if you say gratitude for something for your contribution, that brings the intentional living codes into each day, something for your health. So write that down in your spiritual journal. I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate. Something to do with your light work or your lifestyle that you're contributing, something to do with your health, something to do with your emotions, something to do with your environment that you're happy and you're grateful for and you appreciate, something to do with your relationships, something to do with your spirituality, and something to do with your finances. You don't leave any area out. Even if you're not where you want to be, you can still find gratitude in all of the areas of your life that we talk about on the Soul Legacy TV. So hopefully that resonates. So for me, I've said that I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate my soul clients, my soul tribe, my subscribers, my viewers, my readers. So I'm saying that I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate, and I'll go into more detail. I can't do it on this live. But why are you happy and you're grateful? You can write it down or you can just speak it, and just bask in the energy of it and just recall the memories of when you've had really great times and you've had really great conversations, or you've signed somebody up, or you've like jumped for joy, or you've just done a high five with somebody, or you've just been intimate with somebody, or like you've watched, a first memory, like your child got whatever, children going to school, whatever it is, birthdays. I know that you've got a birthday coming up in your world, Robin. Just you're happy and grateful and appreciate, even to get to the birthdays, right? Because not everybody does. How you're able to contribute to those relationships, right? So I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate something in your health. For me, I'm happy and grateful for the relationships that I have around me to support my health. And that's with you, Robin, and my soul sister as well. We can journal deeper after the live, right? Yeah, because you're not going to be writing it down, but hopefully it's giving you food for thought throughout the week until we get to relationship freedom again on Fridays, right? So hopefully that's helped you. Something to be grateful for, your emotions. For me, it's just vibing at the frequency that I am within myself, knowing myself really well, knowing what works for me, knowing what doesn't work for me, knowing what I want to say yes to, and what I want to absolutely say no to. I love that. I'm happy and grateful, and I appreciate that, because I didn't always, and I wasn't always bold enough or confident enough, although people think she's always been confident. I wasn't at all. At all. If you read my school report, you would see. So for my environment, again, just the relationships that I have in my household, my daughter, I live with my daughter, and I love it. I love having her. She probably get me for saying this. She actually fell asleep. She's just gone to the doctor. She was messaging me to have her ear syringe. I've passed on having a narrow ear canal, and so she asked me if I would put olive oil in her ear and massage it and stuff. And so I said, you'll have to come. I was laying in my bed. It was quite late, and I said, you'll have to come here. So she came in my bed, and she fell asleep, and she spent the night in my bed. And when she woke up this morning, the first, oh gosh, I'm gonna cry. Oh wow. So I didn't tell her this. When she opened her eyes, I was obviously the first thing that she saw, first person that she saw, first thing that she saw. I just saw her eyes, and I haven't seen that. She's 19. She doesn't sleep in my bed. Sometimes I'll get in her bed, but like for an hour. We'll have Mamma Mia days. Like the time that we spend together, usually every Monday or a Tuesday or whatever. So I just saw her eyes. The reason why it makes me emotional, oh my days, I'm gonna have to get off this live if I really start crying, is because when my son made his transition, and I told her when she came home from school, that night we spent with my ex at the time, we all just fell asleep, crashed on the bed, and just all together, all in our clothes. And I didn't want her to open her eyes alone and just realized what had actually happened. And it just took me back to that. And I was just so happy and so grateful that she was just in my bed. I'm going to just move past it because tears. I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate that experience. Oh, wow. Let me know what you're happy and grateful for. We'll talk about the love languages. And I'll try for my eyes to stop leaking. Oh, wow. I don't think I've cried on my lives or my calls for a while. Well, I haven't been on my calls, but I haven't cried on my lives for a while. I'm just going to give myself grace if that's okay. All right. Okay. I can't even lift my top up because you'll see more than what you signed up for. Oh, wow. So Robin says, what a beautiful start to your day with your baby girl. Yeah, it's it was. She's just amazing. If you ever hear me talk about Mia, she's my mini me. Thank you. Let's talk about the book that I usually read for the day. I didn't even read it for today, probably because she was in my bed and we were talking, and I've got the freedom to be at home. She's at home, to have this space. Oh, Robin says, happy and grateful and appreciate you. Love you billions. Thank you, love. If you're new to me, part of me doing my SoulLegacy journal and doing the daily lives is to show up raw and real. So you kind of get what I've got. You get all of me. And I love it. I love it. I love that process. And if it makes you cry, if those moments that are sad moments that you turn into beautiful moments, because I literally could sit here all day like sobbing and in grief, and we want to vibrate at a higher frequency. And so yeah, we want to vibrate at a higher frequency. Love is at the highest frequency of all. Fear and grief and all the things are a lower vibration. I talk about that, raising our vibration, so we can take those moments, share them, speak about them, journal them, let them out, and have them be an inspiration for your day. Robin says yes. Draw, raw and real. Oh, raw and real. Raw and real. Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about the book, The 5 Love Languages. I don't know if you've ever heard of the 5 Love Languages. A lot of people that I talk to about this say they've heard of it. Sorry, I'll be sniffing now. But they've not applied it. And I honestly do believe that in my twin flame union, without this book, we probably wouldn't have lasted as long. When we definitely wouldn't have got the growth that we got. So we had harmony in our relationship because of the 5 love languages. I understood what my love languages were, and I understood what his love languages were. And I was good at speaking his love languages for the most part. So we had some in common. That's why we were able to. So if you don't know the 5 love languages, they are physical touch, which was his, which was mine, but it wasn't the top one. Words of affirmation, which I thought was my top one, which he wasn't as good at articulating that. But I had top 3. And so we would sit and we would talk and we'd be physical, like touching. So it was just really nice. Words of affirmation, physical touch, gifts is not mine, quality time, and acts of service. And so when you know your own love language, you can ask somebody to love you in that way. And you can give love in the way that they receive it most. If you gave me lots of gifts, although I've received gifts, and Robin bought me a gift, and I really appreciate the gift that you got me. Robin actually bought me a Mac mouse in really early days before we really knew each other as well as we do now. And we still haven't even met in person, right? Which is weird, but you can form really deep relationships. Like, I just believe that's soul. And I received that gift and I was like, oh, wow, it just blew me away to receive the gift. But it's not my primary love language. So if you bought me gifts all day long, I'd be like, dude, I'd just rather spend some quality time with you. And so my lives are me spending quality time with you. That's why all my videos are long. Words of affirmation is my next love language. So I'm always talking. And I got told when I was younger, stop talking. You do go on. So that really impacted me really deeply. And one of my favorite authors, Iona Van Zandt, said the same thing about her experience when she was younger. And she's like, how you like me now? Because I get paid to speak. And I'm like, how you like me now? Because I talk all day. Robin says, I'll be back for the parts I missed. Thank you for sharing with us and for being you. Thank you, love. I know I've been on here almost an hour. So yeah, the 5 love languages. If you've never heard of the book, I recommend it. The 5 love languages. Again, it's not just intimate relationships. You can write down in your spiritual journal. I love reading a book every single day. They say what you learn and fueling your mind, right, for growth. And every single day I read or listen to a book for a specific area of my life, all of the freedoms. And so I'll share that with you every day. So this book from this author, Dr. Gary Chapman, he has the 5 love languages for couples, for singles, for children, for teenagers, and for men. And he has lots of other different books as well. But for relationships, your love language is according to Dr. Gary Chapman, you have these 5 love languages from when you're young. And when you're younger, you want to give your children or grandchildren or whoever, children in general, all of the love languages, not just you don't necessarily know their primary one. You might see it in your children, whether it's gifts, whether it's physical touch, whether it's words of affirmation, whether it's quality time or physical touch, if you cuddle them or if you're speaking to them, whatever that is. And then you can do more of that. It's beautiful. They say that love makes the world go around. Okay, well, love me in the way that I can receive it. So on the spiritual dating journey that I'm at now, when I've spoken to people, I've spoken through voice notes. And then when people have done voice notes back to me, that's had me really resonate. And I only speak to one person at a time. Right now I'm speaking to one person, excuse me. And the love language of quality time and words, and his physical touch. I'll ask somebody. There's only like a handful of people that I've ever asked to do that I've got close enough with to say, would you be willing to do? Excuse me. Would you be willing to do the love languages test? Because I'm after compatibility. I'm after my husband. So I think since I've split with my twin, maybe 3 people. So the person, and quickly you can find out whether you're compatible with people, right? So as part of the spiritual dating, definitely ask somebody what their love language is, because I am not going to be giving somebody love in a really great way. And I feel like we don't dismiss people because of their love language, but it makes it easier to love someone. So physical touch was my 3rd one. When I've done it over again, physical touch is still my 3rd one, but I had 3 that were all even, or seemingly all even, when I did the love languages test as a quiz. As you grow and as you evolve, it can change. And so the person that I'm speaking to now, his love language is also quality time, and he thought that it was going to be physical touch. And it's like, oh, it's definitely physical touch. And it's not, it's quality time. So that's mine as well. Then his physical touch, then words, and mine is quality time, then words, then physical touch. So it makes for that compatibility. That's what I want to have in my relationship. So it makes it easy. And don't get me wrong, I can bring in the other love languages, like the physical touch in terms of spending that quality time. I love that. And you know, it doesn't have to always be intimate physical touch, but obviously a lot of people love that. It could be a massage, it can be just cuddling up on the sofa, whatever it is. So learning relationships, learning to love the people that are around you through their love language is super, super powerful. Let me know if that resonates with you. Robin Nutt has the Energy Healing TV, and again, she's a lead soul guide instructor for us. You've had, again, I mentioned about relationships and toxic and you know, whatever relationships that you've had around you, narcissistic, all the things, right? And you want to go through some healing so you can show up, speak out, and serve deep, or that you can actually share it in the co-author book series, in this Share Your Spiritual Awakening Story, but you want some help to shift your energy around it, then hit her up. And Robin has her energy healing lifestyle daily vlog, and so which I will jump on that. It's in about an hour's time from when I finish my lives daily. So subscribe to her channel. She also has a 5-day money blocks clearing challenge, because your relationship with money matters. Sometimes we stay in a partnership because of money, right? So she says her 5-day money blocks clearing challenge is a self-love journey to financial freedom, and Robin talks about all of the freedoms and clearing your energy and your thoughts and your feelings, and that journey back to self-love, really, that higher vibration, the highest vibration of all, love. So hit Robin up, and Robin talks about chakras, and I bought some chakra crystals, and it is, I think I said what chakra it is. It's throat chakra healing Fridays on the Energy Healing TV podcast, and this it's called lapis lazuli, I think, the crystal. I didn't get to do meditation or Ho'oponopono before I came on the live today, but I will have this, just a crystal just around me, that's my gratitude stone, just to ground myself. I have my spiritual rituals and routines to support the relationship with myself, how I launch my day, how I lead my day, and how I leave my day. That's me leaving my legacy. And so it matters. It matters who you have around you. So let me wrap up with the vibrational money voucher from the Soul Legacy Journal. Hopefully you've enjoyed this Relationship Freedom Friday, and you're building a relationship with me, whether you're watching or listening, or like I know you or not, right? There's many YouTubers that we just watch and we feel like we've got a relationship with them anyway, and they've made a real impact in our life and they never know anything about it. So do leave a comment and let me know. So the Soul Legacy Journal, excuse me, It gives you £1,000, dollars, or euros every single day to spend on making memories. And so when we don't have a great relationship with money, or we have money blocks, my daughter's gone, hopefully my daughter will grab that. We have money blocks, we block money, and then we block experiences, right? So when you use the vibrational money voucher, you can spend that vibrational money on experiences, whatever experiences, whether that's relationships, whether that throughout this week, my daughter got a massage and I was on my live, and you know, we've had holidays, we're well overdue another holiday. All the things that you want to do, the experiences that you want to have together, spend your money on that. Go and actually physically look up how much things cost, because they're probably not going to be as much as you think, and you'll heal your relationship with money because you'll know that it's a vehicle. You're receiving money, you're giving that energy exchange in your spiritual business, and you're not willing to be broke or busy and burnt out anymore, right? If you've experienced that, I'm not. And so on the Soul Legacy, in the SoulLegacyAcademy.com, I have this soul income game, and I support you deeper in banking. I say banking 50k in 50 days in the visible world as well. So we do it vibrationally here. We try it on. You spend the vibrational money voucher. Of that vibrational money voucher, you tithe 10% to a worthy cause. I tithe 10% to Cruz Bereavement Care, because they are who helped me when I was going through my grief of losing my son and going through that spiritual awakening, like on the deepest level that any mama can go. I had help, so I tithe 10% of that 1,000 to Cruz Bereavement Care. We don't spend any of the 1,000 on bills. I want you to come from the vibration that all of your bills, everything's paid for, and you've got this as extra to spend. And so if you don't spend it today, and you tithe 10%, but you want to spend it, you can carry over the balance to the next day, and no more than Financial Freedom Sunday. And so on Financial Freedom Sunday, I will spend my vibrational money voucher on my live. I will share with you what I've spent my vibrational money voucher on for the week. So I will be doing this with you. So the Bank 50k in 50 days challenge is for you to get used to being a light worker, being a spiritual business owner that gives the value out there and gives 10 times the value that you ever ask for money, and have that energy exchange back, so that you can launch, lead, and leave your soul legacy and do it with ease, grace, and flow. So with that said, I'll leave in the cards in the description my free chapter for my book, The Spiritual YouTubers from Scratch, a soul guided influencers compass to leverage your light work and lifestyle on YouTube. That's with money. That cheers to financial freedom frequency, having those experiences in all areas of your life, including the money. It's not about the money, but if you contribute, you want to receive the money. I have a free chapter that comes with that. And you can pre-order the book on Amazon, or order the book on Amazon whenever you're watching this. And it comes with a free chapter VIP day. It's a 4-hour VIP day that I'm gifting. And I wanted to support you. No excuses, whether you can invest in that or not. When I was homeless, when I was bankrupt, when I was going through a really messy divorce, that relationship broke down. That was another awakening story. And I made a vow that when I figured this shit out, I would share it far-wide and deep. And that's my commitment to support you. So no excuses. It's a free chapter VIP day. Download the free chapter. Come to my Spiritual Biz YouTubers Masterclass, and I will give you the coupon code for that. In fact, I'll probably leave the coupon code down below in the comments of the description. So, and I do that every 50 days-ish, so that you can know how to start, structure, and grow your spiritual business online, a successful spiritual business online on YouTube, and launch it with a #1 best-selling book. Whether you've got your own book already, you want to be a co-author, whatever it is, like build your spiritual business around story, around getting featured, going out there and actually sharing your work in the world as a #1 bestseller. I share about that. The masterclass is another 4-hour training as well. I have bonus gifts. I have a community for you to come into as a spiritual biz YouTuber. We have a monthly networking call. You can connect in a joint vision with joint vision partners and cross promote and have conversations. I know it can be very isolating and being a light worker, especially when you've gone on the spiritual awakening and you've gone through a dark night of the soul. I wanted to have people of light minds around me, so I've created a space for you. What else? So to be a co-author in the co-author book series, that is for my boot campers. You can enroll and come on and get on a co-author enrollment call with me and see if you're a soul match. I think that is it. Hit Robin Not Up. She's amazing, and I will be on the Energy Healing Lifestyle TV YouTube podcast, where Robin will be talking about clearing your energy from the chakras, clearing the old thoughts, the old beliefs, all the conditioning from all the relationships that we've had around us, the world, political stuff, everything, pandemic, all of the things. It all stays in our energy field, and we want to make sure that's as clear as possible. You will see right about now that on the end screens and the cards, if you're watching on, I don't know if it comes up on a mobile or not, but you could subscribe to the SoulLegacyTV, share this episode out if you found it of value, like it, click the reminders to get notified when I go live on a daily basis. It's Spiritual Freedom Saturdays. I love it. And then Financial Freedom Sundays for this week. And you will see the #1 Spiritual Awakening Annual YouTube Summit that happens October through to April at 9 a.m. on the 2 middle Wednesdays of the month at 9 p.m., 3 p.m. and 9 a.m., 3 p.m. and 9 p.m. UK time. So 6 episodes of that where I interview spiritual YouTubers on their spiritual awakening story, because that is where my spiritual journal came. That is what my spiritual business was about, my legacy, me awakening. And there's some beautiful stories coming up in the book. We launch on the 6th of May. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing more from you. I love you. Have an amazing and a blessed day. As we see you on the next episode. Big love. Take care.